A love story that begins with a phone call and ends up uniting two families, two worlds, and millions of hearts. Gavin and Stacey is a slice of British life that's full of laughter, awkward moments, and characters that feel like home. And before you know it, you're hooked. Here are 15 fascinating behind-the-scenes facts that reveal the magic and a few hidden secrets about your beloved show. I bet you never noticed this sinister joke hiding in plain sight. The show's writers, James Corden and Ruth Jones, slipped in a very dark joke in the surnames. It's how most family surnames come from real British serial killers. The Shipmans echo Harold Shipman, the West reference Fred and Rosemary West, and Pete Sutcliffe nods to Peter Sutcliffe, the Yorkshire Ripper. Remember? It's morbidly funny and a bit chilling once you realise it. Corden later admitted it was a cheeky way to balance the sweetness of the show's tone with a twisted British sense of humour that fans absolutely love. Are you ready for the smartest camera trick? Almost every scene supposedly set in Essex was filmed in Wales. That's right, Gavin's family home, Dave's caravan, and even Mick's workplace weren't shot anywhere near Billericay. Production took place mainly around Cardiff and Barry because it was cheaper and more convenient for the Welsh-based crew. With some clever camera work and a few English number plates, they transformed Welsh streets into Essex suburbia. And it fooled almost everyone because many English fans were shocked to learn their favourite Essex scenes were Welsh all along. The crew even joked about it, calling it Billericay by the sea. The Shipman's house that's fictionally at 23 Limetree Avenue. Billericay is actually a real house in Dinas Powys, just outside Cardiff. Locals still report fans stopping by to snap photos outside its driveway. The homeowners agreed to let the BBC film there during the first season, and they were so friendly that the crew kept returning for future episodes. Over time, the house became one of Britain's most recognisable TV homes. Although the neighbourhood looks nothing like Essex, all thanks to clever set dressing that it became so utterly convincing. Today, it's a mini pilgrimage spot for fans visiting Barry Island. Remember Nessa bragging about her favourite curry named the Jamdani hash? It's basically duck cooked with honey and lime, and, well, it didn't actually exist until after the show aired. The Cardiff restaurant Mint and Mustard loved the reference so much that they added it to their real-life menu in tribute. It instantly became a fan favourite among locals and tourists alike. The name Jamdani hash cleverly mixes South Asian and Welsh flavours and stands as an ode to Nessa's eccentric mix of influences. How often does a fictional meal become so iconic it ends up on real restaurant menus? Only Gavin and Stacey could pull that off. Time for the show's greatest unsolved mystery, the fishing trip. Are you still guessing what exactly happened between Bryn and Jason on that infamous day? If you are, then you might be disappointed because the truth is quite simple. There is no answer. Because the writers deliberately never wrote one. They wanted viewers' imaginations to run wild, making it funnier the more awkwardly everyone avoided the topic. Even the actors playing Bryn and Jason have said they don't know. It's one of TV's best running gags, something that exists purely through discomfort, silence, and a perfectly executed let's never speak of it again moment. This one's an Easter egg most fans never noticed. In 7th episode of Series 2, a scan image on the wall of the doctor's office is not a baby at all. If you look closely, it's Buzz Lightyear. A crew member reportedly slipped it in as a joke during editing, thinking no one would ever spot it. Years later, some eagle-eyed fans caught it and it became legendary trivia. The creators confirmed it was indeed Toy Story's Space Ranger. It's tiny moments like these, so silly yet so specific, that prove how much fun the Gavin and Stacey team had, even with the smallest details. In Series 3's christening episode, Doris, who was played by Margaret John, enthusiastically bangs away on the drums but wildly offbeat. Fans thought it was deliberate comedy genius, a perfect Doris moment. Turns out, it was an accident. The scene was meant to have proper timing, but the sound and sync went off during filming. Instead of fixing it, the editors kept it in just because it fit her character's chaotic energy so perfectly. Margaret John laughed about it later, saying she wasn't exactly a professional drummer at all. Here's something that surprises most fans. Gavin Shipman is based on a real person. James Corden has a lifelong friend named Gavin, who partly inspired the character's easygoing, loyal personality. Their friendship mirrored the tight bond between Gavin and Smithy on screen, with the bickering, bantering, yet remaining inseparable. Corden has said he wanted to capture what British male friendship really feels like, and we believe he did that perfectly. The goofy, loyal, and heartful dynamic we all love. His real friend Gavin even visited the set and found the whole thing weirdly familiar. So when Smithy says, "You're my best mate," it's not just a line, but very much rooted in Corden's real life. When Gavin and Stacey first aired on BBC Three in 2007, it wasn't an instant hit. The pilot drew only about 540,000 viewers, which is respectable, but far from blockbuster numbers. Then something amazing happened and word of mouth exploded. People started recommending it to friends. Critics raved about its warmth and humour. And soon the series moved to BBC Two and then BBC One. By Series 3, its premiere was pulling in over 5.6 million viewers, and the Christmas special became one of the most watched events of the decade. From quiet beginnings, the show became a modern British TV legend. The 2019 Christmas special wasn't just nostalgic, it broke records. Over 18 million people tuned in, making it the most watched non-sport broadcast in the UK that decade. When the finale aired in 2024, it shattered even that number by drawing over 19 million viewers across platforms. For a show that started on BBC Three, those numbers are extraordinary. It became more than just a sitcom, it was an emotional reunion that brought families together on Christmas Day. Fans wept, laughed, and debated the cliffhanger ending, proving Gavin and Stacey wasn't just TV. It was national emotional currency of the time. Laura Aikman's surprise return as Sonia in the finale was kept under lock and key. The production team went to absurd lengths to do so. She stayed in a separate hotel, used code names, and avoided group photos so no one would leak her involvement. She even kept it secret from her parents. Cast members were given partial scripts to stop rumours spreading. When her character appeared on screen, fans across the UK gasped in shock. That surprise moment became one of the most talked about scenes of 2024 and proved Gavin and Stacey could still pull off the perfect emotional twist. During Smithy's big wedding scene in the finale, two background extras spontaneously stood up and shouted, "Don't do it!" It wasn't in the script, just a natural reaction from extras who were massive fans of the show and emotionally caught up in the moment. Instead of stopping the take, the director loved the realism and kept it. The moment gave the whole scene an extra layer of tension, like even the crowd could sense what Smithy was feeling. To make the finale perfect, the cast and crew didn't settle for good enough. Some scenes, like the emotional ones between Gavin, Smithy and Nessa, were filmed up to 70 to 80 times. The goal was to get the rhythm and emotion exactly right. Larry Lamb, who plays Mick, said he'd never seen anything like it in his career. Despite the repetition, no one complained because they knew this was the end of something special. By the time they wrapped, everyone was emotionally exhausted but proud, saying it was the most rewarding work they'd ever done together. Most TV shows film scenes out of order for convenience, but not Gavin and Stacey. For the finale, the production team rearranged everything so the last scene filmed would also be the show's real ending. It gave the cast a genuine emotional farewell. After the director yelled "cut" for the final time, the sound crew played the show's theme song, and the entire set broke into tears. It wasn't just acting, it was closure. After 17 years, Gavin and Stacey ended exactly as it began, with laughter, hugs, and a little bit of heartbreak. Fans had speculated for years if the fishing trip between Bryn and Jason was ever filmed, and it turns out it was. A small segment showing the two by a campfire was shot during Series 3 but never aired. It resurfaced years later in the Fond Farewell documentary. Robert Wilfort revealed that the footage didn't explain the mystery, it was just atmospheric filler. The writers always swore they'd never reveal what truly happened, and they didn't. That eternal secrecy is what makes it one of British comedy's greatest unanswered questions. With its warm snapshots of love, friendship and family, Gavin and Stacey still make us grin years later. Extremely ordinary lives that made extraordinary stories that felt real. Loved revisiting the heart of classic television? Subscribe so you can keep learning weird insights about the shows that shape our screens and our hearts.